Jesus Christ. Let me make it through. That way. Oh God. I think we made it out of the shadow room. Jesus Christ. Well, since we're out, I think it's time we talk about the sequel to Mega Man. The most famous game in the classic series, Mega Man 2. Now, right out the gate, this is not my favorite classic Mega Man game. But at the same time, I'm going to say I definitely understand why this game is so praised. So, let's get right into it with the story. So, again, story's pretty simple. Dr. Wily broke out of jail and has built, this time, 8 Robot Masters. Some of them are original designs, and some of them he stole the blueprints from Dr. Light. But because he designed them themselves this time, these guys are actually properly designed for battle, unlike the previous ones. Well, they could definitely fight, they weren't designed for combat, making these guys more deadly. So now Mega Man has to go off and fight Dr. Wily again. Standard stuff, pretty basic, sequel shit. So from there, now you have a choice of 8 levels. And let's just talk about gameplay. First of all, the controls have been improved massively. Mega Man no longer feels like he's constantly walking on fucking ice. Except for Flashman's level. But at the same time, his jump still isn't great. The controls aren't exactly as tight as future games, but they're definitely improved. Mega Man feels like he has a little more weight and he doesn't drop like a fucking rock this time, so, that's an improvement. The levels themselves feel a lot better. They feel like they apply more to the Robot Master they have in the levels. Although some of them are just, what the fuck. Like, Flashman's level is just, what even is this supposed to be? Like, yeah, well, Cutman's level and stuff like that in the original games was just, like, vague. I could at least see this as, like, some kind of location. Like, that was meant to be, like, some kind of warehouse area. Okay, I could imagine that, but, like, where even is Flashman? Like, I don't even get it. And some of the Robot Masters don't have much of a theme to them, so, their levels don't really have much going on, like Crashman's. And, Quickman's level doesn't really have much of a theme either. There are these really fast, like, instant death things that come along, so, I mean, that has something to do with speed, so that's a plus. But yeah, overall, I do think the levels are improved. Some of them are still a little bit boring, though. I don't care for Heatman or Woodman's. I find Bubble Man's kind of easy, but overall, I definitely like the levels more this time. They feel improved. The Robot Masters themselves are a lot better, I think. I really like some of this game's lineup. I really like Metal Man and Quickman, Crashman. I really like Airman as well. Some of them are kind of bleh. Like, I don't really care for Heatman and Woodman. Kind of boring stages. Weapons not great. And the designs are... ugh. Bubble Man, again, kind of an easy stage. Weapon is whatever. And his design is whatever. But aside from those guys, yeah, I definitely think this game has a more solid lineup of Robot Masters. The weapons, I can't say have taken a massive improvement. The Quick Boomerang is alright. The Crash Bombs are pretty decent. I like Airman's weapon, although there is the famed Metal Blade. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, one of my favorite Robot Masters in this game is Metal Man. He has a really cool looking design and I really like his stage. But the thing that he's most famed for in this game is the Metal Blade. No, I didn't actually mention this in the first game, but the way Mega Man plays is pretty much just he jumps and shoots. And you can't aim. Some people complain about this, but the entirety of the game is designed around it, and it's where most of the difficulty comes from, so I don't really see a problem with that, but the Metal Blade lets you shoot in a billion different directions. By a billion, I mean 8. Yeah, you can shoot this thing anywhere. And you may say, oh, okay, well, there's the weapon energy, right? And yes, but this thing takes barely any energy. Seriously, you can throw like 3 metal blades and it doesn't take like anything off the weapon energy. And aside from that, weapon energy drops in Mega Man 2 are extremely common. Like, as the quarter guy once said, imagine Meta Knight in Smash Bros. Brawl or the Spark power-up in Kirby. Something like that. A really OP thing in a game. Those look balanced compared to the Metal Blade. It completely breaks the game. And it's the weakness weapon of multiple Robot Masters. It kills Fleshman, Woodman, Bubble Man, and Metal Man himself. Seriously, it's insane. So, yeah. That thing's pretty broken. It is definitely fun to use, but from a technical standpoint, it definitely kind of lowers the quality of the game. Beyond that, I think the graphics look a lot better. I like the in-game sprites a lot more. The levels look more pleasant. They changed Dr. Wily's ship, and it looks a bit better now. And the music has definitely gotten a bit better. There's the very famous Wily Fortress theme stage. There's also a Metal Man stage, which I really love. Airman's level has a pretty good theme. I really like Quickman's. Yeah, pretty much all the music in the game is pretty solid. I definitely prefer it to the music in the first game. And as for the Wily Fortress levels, they're kind of whatever. I don't really like the excessive need of weapons. I get that that's a thing in Mega Man games. The Wily Fortress levels typically sort of require you to use like a weapon to kind of like for some bosses or to give you an easier time, but it's a big gauntlet, you know? Your weapon energy doesn't refill in between levels, so it's kind of annoying sometimes. Like, there's this really infamous boss where there's all these fucking turrets on the wall, and only the Crash Bomb, which doesn't have a whole lot of ammo, can kill them. There's also a bunch of fucking walls that you need to blow up with the Crash Bomb. There's like a very specific way you need to do it, and you need item 3, and when I got to this boss, I did not have item 3. Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass. There's also a really annoying segment in Heatman's level as well, with disappearing blocks. These are a staple of the Mega Man series, and they weren't too bad in Iceman's level in the original game, but Heatman's level fucking sucks because of them. This is really annoying instant death part that is super long. My advice, get item 2 from Airman. And if you can't defeat Woodman to get the Leaf Shield to kill Airman, get the Metal Blade. It makes it a lot easier. But yeah. So the levels, especially the Wily Fortress levels, definitely has some really annoying shit, especially requiring the items. The items are different. There's item 1 to 3, and they all do different things. Item 1 is a floating platform that goes up gradually, and item 2 is basically just you throw it, you jump on it, it flies. You can't control where it goes, like up or down or anything, but yeah, pretty much just flies. And then there's item 3. And for the life of me, I don't know what the hell this one does different than item 1. It works in enclosed spaces and item 1 doesn't, so there's that. But the Wily Fortress levels require excessive amounts of these. As far as I know, the Mecha Dragon is invincible to anything but the Quick Boomerang. I think the same also applies for the Guts Dozer. And as I already said, there's the fucking turret boss, which requires the Crash Bomb, which is annoying as fuck. The Wily final boss is pretty underwhelming. Pretty much repeats the Wily machine from the first game, and only with an extra phase of Wily turning into an alien, which turns out to be a hologram. Yeah, it's pretty underwhelming. It requires the bubble that you get from Bubble Man, so yeah, but the alien definitely doesn't do much, so yeah. But anyway, that's Mega Man 2. And, you know what? Yeah, this definitely isn't my favorite classic Mega Man game, but again, as I said, I can definitely see why this game is so beloved. I mean, like, realistically, this game is like a perfect sequel. It pretty much improves on the first game in every way. The controls feel better, the levels are better, the music is better, I like the in-game sprites more. Pretty much everything in this game is better than the first game. I mean, there's more Robot Masters. The Robot Masters are generally better, in my opinion. It's pretty much just improved all around. And to me, that's what makes a really great sequel. Especially for a video game. So, I mean, yeah, I can see why this game is so loved. I mean, to my knowledge, the first game didn't sell all that well, but the sequel was where the series really made it big. So, I mean, if this was your first experience with Mega Man, yeah, I could totally see why this would be the really loved game out of the classic series. And so I will give this game a 7.5 out of 10. Definitely not my favorite Mega Man game, but it's pretty fun. And it has and I give it points for just how much it improves upon the first game. And, yeah. I'm that guy with the googly eyes. And I'm finally out of the fucking Shadow Realm. For now. See you guys later with Mega Man 3.